Worthy by design. Getting tasks done and achieving results is one great feat, often underrated, until one begins to run against deadlines. Now, the need to carry out tasks depending on one's mood, overestimating available time, or underestimating the amount of work to be done are often some of the factors responsible for putting forward work till another time. Hello, thanks for joining us on today's edition of Worthy by Design, brought to you by Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV. On this show, we focus on the journey from girlhood to womanhood and everything in between. I am Iberi James. Welcome. Today, we have in the studio an in-house guest who will do justice to this conversation on procrastination. She's Mrs. Promise Njoku Adibi. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me. You have a beautiful smile there.
Thank you. I'm blushing. Okay, so Mrs. Promise is a social commentator. You can see that she is the best fit for this conversation.
I hope so.
All right, so our conversation on procrastination. Let's start from the very beginning. Procrastination. Give us a little idea of what this is all about.
Well, thank you for having me once again, and a very good day to you viewers out there. Well, procrastination is just the postponing or the shifting of a task or an action meant to be done at a particular time for some other time later. It could be as a result of a whole lot of things, but then looking at it from every other angle, it has its underlying negative effects. So procrastination is just simply delaying what you're supposed to be doing at a particular point in time for some other time.
Okay, amazing. Delaying something you ought to do for a future time. Great. So I'm just trying to look at the word procrastination, trying to, break it down. When I was researching on it, I saw something about, procrastination, there's the pro and there's the crastination.
Yeah.
So it's like, pro is like forward. You push it forward. And it sounded like it meant the same thing. You push it forward. Crastination till tomorrow.
Exactly.
So it's like double. It's like a double evil.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Okay. So I'm just trying to see, let's just think of some examples, some everyday examples that we encounter, examples of procrastination. Let's see from our lives. Example me. Like preparing for a show. There's the part you're preparing for the scripts, preparing for the entire conversation and everything. Conversation is on Monday and today is Sunday. Have you looked through your script? Are you ready? Have you reached out to all your guests? And you're like, oh, it's already 10 p.m. You start sending out your messages, you start looking through your scripts. Last minute rush.
Yeah, that's it.
You had the whole time, the whole week. So why didn't you do it all well? You understand? Okay, you understand. So that's for me. And for somebody out there, it could be assignments. On Friday, they give children a lot of assignments. And your child is like, Mommy, I have assignments. Don't worry, we'll sort it out. Saturday, you go to market. Mommy, I have assignments. Don't worry, after Sunday service. Sunday, you go to church. You come back.
You're tired.
You're tired.
Or you go visiting.
Mm-hmm.
And you come back and it's 8 p.m. Kids want to go to bed.
So those are different issues that, make us procrastinate.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not deliberate.
Are you sure?
Okay, tell me about that part.
Well, the thing is, yeah, sometimes you can say, but 98% of the time it's deliberate. It's deliberate. See, procrastination. It doesn't just happen. Now, there are a lot of reasons why people procrastinate.
Okay.
Now, yeah, I don't know if we've gotten to that point.
Let's
but
go
then-
ahead.
Okay. She said, "Let's go ahead." But then people procrastinate for sometimes it could be as a result of laziness, not just not just I don't just feel like doing it. Not because I don't have the time to do it, but because I don't just feel like
I'm not
doing
in
it.
the mood.
I'm not in the mood to do it. We have mood shifts, mood swings. I'm not in the mood, so let it wait. Now, by the time you give yourself a time frame, okay, let it just wait. I'm supposed to achieve this by 12. And I'm saying let's shift it to 6, and then by 6
Something else comes
up. I say, okay, this is more important, so let me shift what I was supposed to do at 12, which I shifted to 6. Let me shift it to 10, and you keep procrastinating. At the end of the day, the whole week you've not done anything. So sometimes laziness can cause procrastination. Sometimes fear of failure. Especially in work settings, in work environment, workplaces, fear of failure. If I do this, I might fail. So let me keep shifting. Let me look for the right time. Let me look for the appropriate time to do it. And you keep procrastinating. You keep procrastinating. Sometimes fear of criticism and judgments. Okay, so you have people who will always criticize you and say, "Oh, you didn't do this thing right." Who cares whether you did it right or not? Do your best. Make sure you're giving in your best. Make sure you're doing the right thing. At the right time. It doesn't matter whether you end up achieving it right or wrong. You learn every day. Learning never stops.
Somebody said you never fail, you only learn.
Exactly. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And if you think you failed in doing this, try again. You find out you're better.
Yes,
You're better.
you learned better ways of doing it.
So it's whole. And then some causes of this procrastination thing is lack of, I call it indecision.
Oh.
Yes, some people, they're just so, they don't know how, to make that decision for themselves. They feel this is so overwhelming for me. Where do I start from? How do I start from? Oh my God, this, for instance, mothers, we are mothers, yeah? And then, okay, you need to do the laundry, you need to clean the house, you need to cook, you need to do this, and then, oh my God, which one am I to start with? Is it the laundry? Cooking?
Let me just go and sleep.
And I need to rest. And then the next thing, is a popular phrase. Oh, I cannot kill myself for nothing. And then you just let me sleep for 2 hours. And then within that 2 hours, you've taken your nap. And then in between, you wake up and still meet
the mess. Yeah.
So some people is that indecision. Some people, like I said, it could be very overwhelming for them. Some people, it could be that they don't even know how to prioritize.
Before we even go to the issue of prioritization, I want us to stay on the issue of I cannot come and kill myself.
Really, you cannot come and kill yourself.
You understand? Because that has become a very popular phrase, especially in the whole Nigerian setting. I cannot come and kill myself. I cannot come and kill myself. The funny thing, I believe that even if you do the work, you will not kill yourself.
Yeah, agree.
And if you do it the right way, you prioritize and you do things at the right time, you will not kill yourself. So do we always need to put that idea of I cannot come and kill myself at the fore before we do things? The idea of I cannot come and kill myself, does it help us to get things done?
Well, no, it doesn't. Personally, I feel it doesn't. I cannot come and kill myself most times are being used by people who are looking for justification.
Thank you.
Not to do what they are supposed to do.
True.
So they just end up telling themselves, I cannot come and kill myself. And somebody will tell you, I know people who say, they don't give award for the best mother, they don't give award for the best hardworking wife and all that. But then these are things you're supposed to do. So why not do them? You know there's nobody who will come to do them for you. They will still be staring at you there. No, even if it's the next 10 days, you will come back to me them. So why don't you do them and let go of, you know? So I just feel that phrase is being used by people who are just looking for justification, you know, validation not to do what they're supposed to do at a particular point in time.
Because I also feel that it kind of hampers the spirit of excellence.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
It just limits you. Once you think, I cannot come and kill myself. Even when you're thinking it, I cannot come and kill myself, it just makes you go to sleep. You know, that kind of thing. So I think we should jettison that phrase from our minds as women, as ladies, as you.
Yes.
There's so much ahead of us. There's so much life. There's so much of achievements awaiting us.
True.
To let one simple phrase that really means nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely crap.
It means nothing to hamper us.
And not just us, because the more we limit ourselves, the more we are limiting our children.
Oh my goodness,
Because
that's a
they
big
learn
one
from us.
True.
We are their role models.
True.
Or take it
True.
or, you know,
True.
they look up to us. And if you notice, children learn more from what they see you do than what they hear you say.
True.
So the more you keep limiting yourself, the more your child feels, oh, this is the peak. So you've limited that child. So it's mothers, we need to just, ladies, we need to just go out of our shell and do the right thing. I repeat, at the right time. Of course, there are times when, you know, some factors, very important factors, can, you know, hamper what you're supposed
genuinely
to do. Exactly. Hamper what you're supposed to do at that particular point in time. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't come back and finish up what you know you're supposed to do. So I think we need to break out of our shell.
Because I believe this conversation is just so important, given, especially for women, right? Given the fact that we have a lot of things that seem to interfere with our lives, right? For instance, you get married, then you start having kids. Oh, you need to further your education. You need to take some courses. You need to do this. You need to do that, right? And you're thinking of, okay, maybe I go feed down tomorrow. In fact, I'm not feeding myself. You know, that kind of thing. You pushing it, you're not going to be able to achieve anything.
Not at all.
Your studies will suffer. Your home will suffer.
True.
Your children will suffer.
True. You as a person
will suffer. Oh my goodness. So we have to take it really seriously. Anything we need to do, we have to take the bull by the horn.
True.
You know, I spoke with a lady this morning. Today was her birthday, so we called her to give her our best wishes. She's outside of the country. And well, you're looking very much awake. It was 2 a.m. She said yes, that she has to study. How about your kids? They are asleep. So you're wondering, how did she cope? She had to put the children to bed. Definitely.
She has to feed them first, bathe them,
put them to bed.
Maybe tell them a story.
And she's tired. But she was awake by 2 a.m. studying. She was a lawyer, and she's now moving to the medical field. So she's awake, studying. So I felt like this is a big deal, because she could afford not to do it, and nothing will happen in quotes, but she had to do it. So it's like, you know, the whole conversation of procrastination. She could have done it any other time, but she chose to do it when she did.
No, she's looking at the bigger picture.
The bigger picture.
Yeah, because what you don't do now, you still come to meet it. You know, a year from today, believe me, what you don't start now, a year from today, you will still come back to do it. You've wasted 1 year already, 365 days, so why don't you start now? Well, kudos to her, she's a strong woman.
Amazing woman. So what I'm saying is, this conversation on procrastination is so important for every one of us, so that we can pick up from where we left off.
Yeah.
Somebody who may have dropped an academic pursuit because you felt like, I cannot cope with this. The truth is, you can actually cope.
Just
right?
Find a way around it.
Right.
Find a way around it. Yes. Find a way around it.
Okay, so we had talked about the before we came to this digression, right? An important digression
Yes,
for that matter,
okay.
right?
You're right.
You know, you said the causes and the reasons for procrastination. You had the fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of indecision. And you said the fear of failure. Is it real?
No, it's not. For me, it's not. You know, like you said, rightly said, you don't fail. You just learn. You know, I think failure is actually overrated. It's for me, it's overrated. You only you only a failure when you tell yourself you're a failure. But if you
Or when
tell
you stop
yourself, when
trying?
you stop trying, but you tell yourself, I refuse to quit. I didn't get it right now. What did I get wrong? And you keep trying. You keep trying. Okay, we've heard about Max Taylor, yeah. We've heard about Eric Edison. This brought about this one. Eric Edison did had electricity courtesy of him. Do you know how many times he tried? Max Taylor brought the vaccine to us, and do you know how many times he tried? 99 times. 99, and he succeeded the 100th time.
And if you fail to continue trying,
So imagine he failed. Imagine he stopped halfway. Imagine when he got to the 99th time, he stopped. Where would we have been? Someone else would have started trying. Would we have gotten to this point? But he kept pushing. Someone out there would have said, please let me just stop.
I cannot come and kill myself.
I've been trying. I cannot come and kill myself. You know, but then this guy kept pushing. He kept pushing. He kept looking at the bigger picture. He's no longer alive today, but his name still rings a bell. So I think failure is overrated. You're only a failure when you quit. When you quit trying, you're then a failure.
Amazing. So we have talked about some reasons. Some people also say, you know, the people who say I work very well under pressure. So they feel like,
You're making me laugh.
let me leave it to, maybe like 2-3 days before the thing. Let me tell you a story. I was applying for a certain role, so I had started putting together my application for like a week. I'd been putting it together. It was in fact ready the day before. So but I told myself, okay, I'll just leave it till that day, and the application was supposed to end by 12 a.m. So I told myself, okay, I'll just leave it till, later that day I'll send it out. So I kept, doing. So when it was like 8 p.m., I was like, okay, it's time to send it. I now discovered that, I hadn't put my electronic signature. I didn't know how to do it.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, trying. I called somebody who came in that night, tried to help me put it through. Something I should have done since. We tried to put it together. We now sent out the application. After sending the application, I was like, let me even look through what I sent out. And discovered that, I sent an email and did not attach the application.
Oh my goodness.
What is the time?
Oh my goodness, missed opportunities.
What is the time? And I get the application back. By the time I sent it, it was 11:53.
Oh, you still had time.
But that was as a result of procrastination. I would have missed an opportunity. Because, you had all the time. I'm like, I'll just send it by 8. I'll send it by 9. And that's how I kept pushing. And would have lost it.
You were lucky. You were really very lucky. You were very lucky. This procrastination of a thing, nobody's actually immune to it.
True.
We just have to make conscious efforts, to work against it. Now, you that's you. At least you got lucky, you were able to submit yours. I missed out on a gift of a laptop. Yeah, there was an essay to be written, and they were like in my church one time before I got married, and they were like, okay, write from home, submit. You will go through it. The best will receive a laptop and all that. I took my time. I wrote from my heart. I poured out my body, soul, and spirit into that essay. It was a wonderful one. But guess what? I could have just taken it and, submitted, but I felt, no, I had so much time, maybe later. And later, deadline was supposed to be on a Wednesday because it was towards our youth harvest then. Deadline was supposed to be on Wednesday so that they can go through it. Wednesday morning, my younger brother went to submit his and he was like, let me help you. So I said, oh, don't worry, I'll submit myself. I have time. And by the time I went to church to submit, deadline was actually 5 p.m. I got to church past 6. They actually collected it, they read it, and Sunday service, I was told, sorry, we had the best, which was from so promise in Bebulam. I wasn't married then, but unfortunately it came in late. So we're giving this position to the second person. And although it was my husband's friend that actually got that, but then I felt pained. And I kept asking myself, see what you did to yourself, see what you did. You would have just won this laptop. I needed it then.
So that takes us...
procrastination dealt with me. And even as mothers, you keep telling yourself, I can walk and chew gum, I can multitask.
We'll come back to that. Because you have taken us to another level now, the effect of procrastination.
Oh, sorry.
Loss of opportunities.
Yeah.
That I think that's where we'll hang it on and go for a break. When we return, there's plenty more on this subject matter of procrastination. Don't touch that dial. See you soon.
Hello viewers, welcome to this week's episode on Health Watch on Advent Cable Network Nigeria. I am Angela Emeka Ebibo.
What we need as humans is to have a good spiritual life. It's more important than having an abundance of possessions without a healthy spirit.
We have issues that relate to sexual affairs. There is something called consent. If a person says no, that means she or he hasn't given their consent.
My mother delivered children on her own. A baby that is too big, how do you want it to come out without having issues?
Your faith does not negate you going for a medical check or engaging in a medical therapy. It doesn't.
The patient has his own right, and this right has to do with the right patient, the right drug, the right dose, the right duration. You understand? Even the right time in how it is given.
Worthy by design.
Welcome back. We have been speaking with the amazing Mrs. Promise. I remember the last one. Joku Adivi.
Correct.
All right. So we have been talking about procrastination. What procrastination is, the causes of procrastination, that's fear of failure, fear of criticism, indecision. There are so many reasons why people procrastinate, even genuine reasons, right? Then we're now at the effects of procrastination. What she said before we went on the break was, it could lead to loss of opportunities. Let's move from there.
Okay, thank you. Well, like I was saying, it's very important to note that procrastination, apart from being a thief of time, it can lead to a whole lot of negative impacts, which could actually be short-term or long-term. Okay, so I talked on lost opportunities. The moment you start procrastinating, there's every tendency of missing out on opportunities. Just like the example you gave about yourself. I told you were very lucky. You had 7 minutes to the deadline. There are people who have missed opportunities simply because they failed to do the right thing at the right time. Now, another effect of procrastination could be, stress. It could be so much stress. Imagine having a whole lot of work to do, and then you're stressed emotionally, you're stressed physically, you're stressed psychologically. You won't be productive. You will never be productive. Why? Because everything about you is just... It's going gaga. It's going gaga, So another effect is guilt and shame. Now, the moment you start procrastinating and you find that you're not able to do what you're supposed to do, and there's a deadline, you didn't meet that deadline. Of course, when you see, imagine somebody entrusts,
Recommended you for
exactly,
something, yeah.
and then as a result of procrastination, you didn't
do
meet.
it.
Now you feel guilty, and you feel so ashamed of
You can't
yourself.
face the person.
First, you've disappointed and let down the person who recommended you. Second, of course, that person you disappointed would definitely not recommend you.
True.
So that now still brings missed opportunity, because you've just missed out on,
Opportunities you'll not be aware of.
Exactly. So you've lost a whole lot now. And the moment you start feeling guilty, the moment you start being so ashamed, because of course it's your fault, your self-esteem
Suffers. True.
now begins to suffer. That's where you find low self-esteem coming into play. Okay, so you now find yourself belittling yourself, forgetting the fact that you're, like you said, worthy by design. You're better than you're actually projecting yourself. But then low self-esteem has crept in, and it takes the grace of God and constant counseling to come out of it. Okay, so and that's, I think I jotted out. Now, for our learners, for our students, we have impaired learning. You have exams to write. The timetable has been out for over a month, and you feel, oh, I'm a very fast learner, I do this, I do, and you don't read. And you understand? So now, 2 days to exams, you're beginning to catch straws, and then that leads to cramming. And trust me, the moment you cram,
You're under pressure.
so much pressure, and the moment you forget it, you've forgotten it. Before you go back to, recall everything you've crammed, the exam is over. And you find out that you're not just learning, you didn't actually learn anything, because you've been cramming, and it's actually not good. Because you need to study to understand. But the moment you cram, you're cramming to just, pass your exams. Now, there are penalties and consequences. For instance, you're supposed to make payments, for instance, for school fees, and because you kept procrastinating, maybe a school fees is supposed to pay 100,000, and they say, oh, deadline is over, and then there is a grace, but there is a lateness fee to be paid, maybe 120,000. You're paying extra 20,000 that you'd have used to, take care of yourself, buy something for yourself, or take yourself to the spa, but you're paying it, as, penalties and for your negligence, and, so, and then it can actually also lead to poor grades. Yes, poor grades, maybe in school, because the moment you cram, like I said when I was talking about for our learners, the moment you start cramming and you fail to, put it down word for word the way you cram, of course your grades will drop. Unlike somebody who studied, understood what she studied, she poured out. So she can always find a way around it. But for somebody who crammed, of course, low grades now come in. And then
somebody, even at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Even at work, when you are always procrastinating your task, you're not delivering as that's when due. You're not going to be the one to be recommended for that promotion.
Not at all.
You're
not
not
at
the
all.
one to be given that next big job.
Not at all.
So you're missing an opportunity to learn more. You're missing an opportunity for exposure. You're missing an opportunity for promotion, because you're not doing your work properly.
The right word is you're not reliable.
Thank you.
And that in fact, it was actually part of what I wanted to talk about. It leads to strained relationships, because you might actually be the last person to be considered. Let's just pick him because there's no other option.
Well, maybe we'll just ask somebody to join him. So
Exactly, because even family and friends will find out that this person can't be trusted. This person can't be, relied upon to deliver.
True.
Imagine when there's something to be done, and can we give it to so? That one, no go there. It's already. Do you understand? It's already a flop. It's not a good record. So it brings strained relationships, and then talking about your health. Now, these effects, health issues now, it results to health problems. You have insomnia, As a result,
worry.
yeah, because you're so worried, anxiety everywhere. You have migraine, you have indigestive problems. I'm sure if you get if you reach out to medical practitioners, they'll tell you more. Just what procrastination, things you can do with ease.
Depression.
Oh, you got it right, sweetheart.
The worst of it, depression.
And these are things you could have actually done with ease, but because you kept piling and piling and piling, you now get so confused. Where do I start from? And because you can't find the way around it,
you could not do it, sir.
now we talked about reduced productivity, especially at work and all that, and even when you even produce, the quality of work is not up to standard. Imagine you have a job to do to deliver at 10, for instance, and at 9:50 you're still running around, you're not settled. Of course, the outputs, the quality of that job at 10 the difference will be clear from somebody who had given in enough time, prepared, and then 9:30 you're already waiting for 10 to come so that you can just deliver. So the decrease in output is also there. No, there are 1001 effects, a whole lot of them.
You know, it just calls for all of us to sit back and do a self-assessment.
True.
Right? How has your work been? How has your home been? Your studies, everything that you have been doing. How productive have you been? What impact has procrastination had on
you?
The things you're doing? How can I get things working better? Everybody, just needs to take that, just take that back seat and think again.
Just a little
because
time.
If you want to have a productive life, we must learn to think for ourselves and ask questions and solve problems for ourselves.
True.
Amazing. So we'll move forward. I usually hear this thing. I'm not in the mood.
Oh.
When I'm in the mood, when I start doing things now, I will just do everything. I can just sweep, mop.
You have 10 hands working at the same time.
When I am properly motivated, I'm inspired to do this work. But right now, I'm not in the mood. Is that the right mindset? Right? Is that the right mindset if we're going to live a productive life, if we're going to run away from procrastination? That mood thing, should our mood dictate our action?
Well, I would say no. Because as much as inspiration and motivation are powerful drivers, waiting for them to come always before you carry out a task can be very dangerous and can lead to inaction. Yes, because you keep waiting. Oh, I'm not in the mood to do this. When exactly will you be in the mood? No, for real. When exactly will you be in the mood? Many successful individuals have always encouraged people to cultivate the habit of discipline and goal settings. Make it a habit. So the moment you have that habit, you're disciplined. When the motivation and inspiration comes, it's just whether it comes or not, you're doing the right thing. If it comes, good and fine. If it doesn't come, you're still unset.
Or better still, motivate yourself. I remember the proverbial story of the lizard. They said the lizard will fall and then will look around.
Nobody cheers him up.
Cheers me on. I cheer myself and I keep going.
Exactly.
So I think this also applies in, doing our task. If you're not seeing the motivation you need, nobody is inspiring you, nobody is cheering you on.
Be your cheerleader.
Be your own cheerleader.
Exactly. Be
and
your
get
cheerleader.
Work done, because work has to be done.
True.
Someone said there's no right time to do anything.
The right time to do it is now.
It's now. Because you're waiting for especially things that are undesirable. There are people that don't like ironing. It's like a very Herculean task. If you ask them to iron, there are people that don't like typing. So don't even ask them to do that task. So, but if typing is an integral part of your daily work, how do you run away from it?
Just learn it. Get to love it. discipline yourself, inspire yourself, tell yourself, I'm good at this. In fact, give yourself a pat on the back.
Do the people who do it have two heads?
No, they don't. Just one.
So that means you.
And their head might not be as actually good as yours.
Yes,
Inspire yourself with that.
yes.
Tell yourself, if this person can do it, I can actually do it, and even better. It's not a competition. It's you trying to talk yourself into doing what you are supposed to do.
Into being productive.
Exactly. So whether the motivation comes or not, motivate yourself. Be your own cheerleader. Okay, so the aspect of people waiting to be motivated and all that, well, I know a whole lot of things. I don't know how best to put it, but then you can start somewhere. You can start somewhere. First and foremost, learn to prioritize.
Amazing.
Learn to prioritize. Oh, I have to do this, I have this, I have this, I have this. You have 5 things to do at a time? No problem. Which should come first? Prioritize your tasks for the day and then break them down into smaller bits. That's the easiest way to get job done. Because if you tell yourself you want to do everything at the same time, you go crash.
It's frustrating, really.
It's not just frustrating, you will crash. You will crash. Break them into smaller bits, into little steps. And then as much as you're breaking them down, time yourself. Give yourself a time frame.
Especially
if not,
for tasks that have deadlines.
Deadlines, exactly. If not, you keep, since I broke them into, let me still break again. No, give yourself a time frame. Give yourself, okay, let me do this from this time to this time. You can take a break in between. Nobody's saying because we're saying don't procrastinate, then you should kill yourself. No, you can, but then make sure you're doing something. Make sure,
at every point in time,
so that you can meet up, especially like you said, tasks that have deadlines. Okay, then set clear deadlines for yourself. If your task has a deadline of maybe 1 week, you can give yourself a task to finish within 4 or 5 days. So you have the other days to peruse through and at the same time relax. So when you're going to defend or submit whatever task, you're doing it free-spirited, no pressure, no worries. So, but then when you're not ready, you find yourself stammering, you find yourself, you don't even know where to go for. Then another thing is eliminate distractions.
Important.
You see those little things, the Bible calls them little foxes. You see those little things you think don't matter. Believe me, they matter a lot. Social media, let me go, what's happening on Instagram? What's happening on Facebook? They've taken just 5 minutes. Before they've taken 2 hours of your time.
TV.
Z-World, Telemundo. Oh, Big Brother is ongoing, right? I don't watch it, but then I know. But then you find, let me see what's happening. Oh, they're quarreling. Oh, you're looking at other people's lives, and you've left what you're supposed to do undone. So those little distractions, identify them, and then put them on hold. Tell yourself, I'm not going to do this until I do this. Okay, I grew up with one of my uncles, my dad's elder brother. And I see him sometimes. Then I was thinking, when I had my secondary education, I was with him. And I was thinking he was being too hard on himself. Daddy, it's time for breakfast. He said, I will not eat breakfast until I finish this. And at a point I said, this man wants to kill himself. Also this, also that. But then I found out that because he wants to eat his food, he gives in his best, gives in his time, and he gets the job done. So when you see him cross his leg on his table, he's done. By the time you call him, he's free. So just eliminate those little. Then
let me hold you up there. It brings something to mind. When you talked about eliminating those little foxes, right? It also makes me think about the issue of values.
Okay.
Our values. What are our values?
Our values in life, yeah.
What are the things we hold dear? Because if we have proper values, it will help streamline our actions.
I agree.
And the issue of procrastination will also be put at bay to a reasonable extent.
I agree.
Because I know that, I value time. I value relationships. I value integrity.
True.
I value trust. So because I value all of these things, and these things are at the core of the work I do.
So I'll do everything in my power to make sure, I
I
don't break
protect,
them.
I
Yeah.
don't break them. So if you're not going to break them, procrastination has no place
True.
in your schedule. You know, I just thought I should point that out when you.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. A very, very valid point. Our values are very, very important. Very, very important. And I was about saying, limit multitasking. Especially mothers. We want to do a billion things at the same time.
But they said we are the ones who know how to multitask.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you want to take that out?
No, but let's be realistic here. I used to be among those that used to say, I multitask. I can walk and chew gum. I got married. I can walk and chew gum. I had my first child. Of course, I can still walk and chew gum. By the time the second one came, I realized sometimes you need to pause while chewing gum and then walk. It wasn't funny for me. So that was when I now realized, okay, no matter what you do, try to limit it. You are not God who can do everything at the same time.
One thing
at a time. One thing at a time. Because the moment you start trying to do everything at the same time, you miss it. You're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to get exhausted. You're human.
Burnt on fire.
Oh my God. Imagine you washing your bends, washing, and then, oh, Mommy, I'm hungry. Okay, food will soon be ready. Mommy, I just pulled. Okay, let me wash you off. And then the next thing, Mommy, the food is burning. The taste of the food automatically has changed. So, and then, and another thing is seek external support. There are some things you can, ask people for help for. Nobody is an island of knowledge. You don't know it all. There are times you seek external support. For mothers in the house, okay, you can source out some things. Yes, exactly. So that's very, very important, so you don't crash. Now, even at work, you can seek help. Can you help me do this? That does not mean you should neglect your job, neglect your duties so that someone else will help you do it. The truth is, whatever you do, you're actually helping yourself. That is called self-development. You're developing yourself. So if you don't want to learn, at your own risk. But it doesn't negate the fact that you need external support. Look at it from any angle. You need external support. Then I love this last part. Set rewards for yourself. Oh God, I love doing that. Set rewards for yourself. Tell yourself, okay, I'm going to achieve this between so time to so time. If I don't achieve it, no reward for me. But if I achieve it, I'm going to give myself this reward.
Give yourself shawarma.
Oh my God. I told myself, I don't know, maybe it's part of what was actually putting me down some days back. I had a target for myself. I think this topic has now made me realize what was actually making me not to feel happy. I had a target for myself, and I told you procrastination is really dealing with a whole lot of us. I just realized I didn't meet even up to 50% of that. And I was supposed to reward myself with a washing machine.
Oh, mama.
A new washing machine. Unfortunately, I can do that. So always, viewers out there, set targets. Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. But then I knew I didn't give in 100%. Because I know myself, if I had given in 100%, I would have achieved it. Even if I didn't achieve 100, at least I would have achieved 80. But when I just here now, I didn't even meet up 50.
But you tried. You tried.
I tried.
Give it another try.
Of course, I'm never quitting. I'm never going to quit.
An amazing conversation we have had so far. I just want to chip in something before we go. There's something called present bias. They said tending to be motivated more by immediate gratification, and that causes procrastination. You just want to enjoy this thing. Let me just watch this show now. Let me just finish this now. If present bias catches up with you, procrastination will be your sunny, and I don't want that to happen to any of us. So every aspect of this conversation has been very interesting, very informative. So I want you to take it seriously. Personally, I'm going to take it very seriously and try to make the best out of my life. Procrastination does not do you any good.
Not at all.
It only gives you a false sense of control that only leaves you under more pressure than you can handle. So what do? Do what you have to do right now. Your tasks, they are key to having a fulfilling and productive life if and when you complete them. Take things one day at a time. No worries. Things will fall in place as you go. Now, here's a gentle reminder that you out there, you are worthy by design. So don't let procrastination give you a negative label. A big thank you to my amazing guest.
Thank you. Thank you
Mrs.
so
Promise
much. Thank you.
Njoku
Adibe. It's a compound name.
It's so good to have you on the show. We appreciate
Thank you so
your time.
much.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and at Worthy by Design. Till we come your way again next week, same time, same station, I remain Iber Chims. See you next time.